Right. We are here. We made it. Welcome, everybody, to Mouth Breathers Guild Live, MBG Live, the weekly Twitch podcast where we talk about comics and we just get real damn nerdy about it. This week, I have an extra special guest. We have Noah McCon with us. Noah, say hello to the people.
What's up, guys?
And
So
you may be
excited.
thinking, what would preempt or prompt such a special guest to join us? And the answer to that question is because we're talking about one of the best books ever, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, of which Noah is quite a big fan. He's a big fan of Tom King. Noah, tell us about your relationship with Tom King.
I wish I had one.
How
But
many years have you and Tom been dating? I just gotta know.
No.
How long have you been serious?
Yeah, is that your dad?
well, yeah. Hey, man, you gotta come get me. I miss you so much. You said you came back, and you never did.
Daddy?
No, my first Tom King book was actually Love Everlasting, and I was kind of like, okay, this is all right. But then I read this book, and I was like, okay, I think I'm a Tom King fan now. So I'm so excited to get to talk about it with you guys.
Hell yeah. This was not my first Tom King, but it definitely will not be my last Tom King. I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of this book. We'll dive into it in just a sec. Of course, got to plug all the things. If you're watching this, go to mouthbreathersguild.com. You can get all of these books, not this one. That one we can't resell. That would be illegal. But these books, all you can eat, which has everybody in it. You've got Manny and I's story, you've got Ben's story, and you've even got a story from Noah himself. I'm going to get flipped to that. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at
You
that.
can, if you
Awesome.
like this, you can go to mouthbreathersguild.com right now and buy a copy. You can also buy a copy of Renowned, our Monster of the Week high fantasy and sci-fi series. You can also go there to get Remise. Oh god, focus is going wild now.
Oh god.
Man,
Oh, God.
come on,
Please.
come on now,
Yes.
camera. You're ruining my plug. Damn stupid.
Spit on it. Spit on it.
Powerful, man. Too sexy a book.
I know.
It looks too
Blurring it
good.
out.
It just simply.
It really is.
Okay, and we're back. Jesus, that was rough. Okay, Remise, Manny's book, Dark Fantasy. It rocks. Time Police, you can't buy on our website, but you can buy it where, Ben?
The Time Police store on Etsy. So if you go to Etsy, search the Time Police store, it'll take you to our site. We've got all 3 covers out there right now. So $5 each, but I will warn you, shipping is a B. So I wanted to keep the price low just to make sure that people could still grab an issue for pretty cheap. But go out there, get your copy now, and I promise I will at least sign everything that goes out. I'll see once my buddy James, my writing partner for Time Police, when he's in town, we'll sign a bunch more. So you could have a single signed or double signed copy. But yeah, go out there and get your copy today.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah. And then, of course, The Legend of Carl. Noah, do you have any other plugs you want to make? Any place that the wonderful people at home can find you?
Yes, so I am working on a book right now called The Legend of Kaiden. Kaiden is spelled Kyyden, and I'm working on it with a writer named Jesse Wolf. We plan to have a new issue out next year, but if you look up JW Storytelling, you should be able to find a issue of the prologue. But if you want to just find me, you can find me on Instagram. It's Noah McCann, just all one word as the handle, MCHAN. And yeah, that's all I got.
McCann. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. You never corrected me, you piece of shit.
Hey man,
he's such a good boy, Kev. He's such a good boy. He doesn't want to hurt
I
your
miss
family.
you.
Okay, Noah McCann is with us, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, as always, I'm going to start with our solicit, and then we're going to dive into our first impressions. It's Supergirl like you've never seen her before, in a character-defining sci-fi fantasy masterpiece from Mr. Miracle writer Tom King and Wonder Woman artist Bilquis Evely. Bilquis, if you're watching this at home, I doubt you are. I apologize for how many times I'm going to butcher your name over the next hour and a half. Kara Zor-El has seen some epic adventures over the years, but she now finds her life without meaning or purpose. Here she is, a young woman who saw her planet destroyed and was sent to Earth to protect a baby cousin who ended up not needing her. What was it all for? Wherever she goes, people only see her through the lens of Superman's fame. Just when Supergirl thinks she's had enough, everything changes. An alien girl seeks her out with a vicious mission. Her world has been destroyed and the bad guys responsible are still out there. She wants revenge, and if Supergirl doesn't help her, she'll do it herself, whatever the cost. Now a Kryptonian, a dog, and an angry, heartbroken child head out into space on a journey that will shake them to their very core. This volume collects the entirety of the 8-issue miniseries Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. That was a bigger solicit than I'm used to.
It was a good job, though. Well read. Well read.
Thank you. Gentlemen, what are our initial impressions? Noah, you're our esteemed guest. Why don't you start us off?
This book is freaking gorgeous, man. Like, if there's ever an artist edition of this, I am going to be the first one in line to buy it. Like, that's what got me to buy this, was just seeing, like, all the splashes and stuff online. I was like, you know what? I gotta check this out. So, just soak in this art. That's all I gotta say. That alone is enough to sell this.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Manny, what'd you think?
I thought it sucked. Like the whole thing. Like the writing sucks, the drawing
Right.
sucks, the colors
Sure.
suck. It all sucks, you know.
Kick him off the screen.
Yeah, it's kind
Uh-huh.
of trash. It's hot doo-doo. No, I'm just kidding. It's solid.
Manny's in a good place today.
I read this and I was like, huh. This was amazing. Wow. So unfortunately, I had to read it on my phone when I was at work.
Oh, that sucks.
But seeing
But you
this,
do have a print copy.
I do. Yeah, I'm flipping through it right now. Yeah, flipping through it is like this is the way it's meant to be. I mean, it looks good in print, dude. Looks good on screen too, for sure. Obviously, it's amazing. But like, this has like that newsprint quality to it, like this book that I'm holding right now. Like, it's not like super glossy paper and like, you know, super, I don't know, clean. You know, it feels right. It feels good. It's got a nice texture to it and everything. 5 stars all around. 5 stars on all fronts.
5 stars all around.
Yeah.
All around.
Ben, your thoughts. Tell me about them.
All right. Well, you know, I get word diarrhea of the mouth, so I'm gonna try to keep it short so we can actually get to the book itself, because I want to hear. I've got questions, but hopefully they're nothing where I'm like, why does this book make me so tired? But Tom King, the most I knew about him before this was Batman. So I've read some Tom King Batman, and I know he can be very verbose in that. So I wasn't entirely shocked when this was very dialogue heavy. I did like the way that Supergirl kind of felt like a side character in her own story, but like the most important side character. If there's like such a thing as like character 1 and then 1A, like she is definitely 1A. So I thought that was a really interesting storytelling device. We're not just going to tell it from Supergirl's point of view. She's a huge fixture in this, and we're going to see a lot of her. So I really thought that was an interesting dynamic for Tom to use to help tell the story of this crazy space adventure. I love some of the things they do for humor, and just the way they play with the different colors of suns and kryptonite. Because of course it's Supergirl. If it has super in front of the title and it's a DC story, they've got to play with those kinds of concepts. Bilquis, like her artwork is gorgeous. It is the most Hayao Miyazaki feeling artwork that I've seen in comic books, where I'm just like, holy crap, like this is gorgeous. And Matthias's colors throughout are just phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Looking at all those, like setting tone with color is huge, and it's just fantastic throughout.
It is a wombo combo of a team. Like the coloring is on point, the writing is on point, the drawing is fucking extravagant. It's fantastic.
Yes.
So
And if
thank
you are
Noah,
gushing
for
over,
allowing us to do this.
yes. And if you are gushing over this book and its team, Go add Helen of Windhorn to your pull box right now.
Yeah.
Please
Make sure
do
you get the
that,
trade
man.
like I am, because I was a loser.
It's
And
the best comic book coming out now. Period.
I cannot tell
Full
you how
stop.
mad I am at myself, boys.
Yeah.
Noah, you and Kev were championing Helen of Windhorn, and I'm just so mad I can't find issue 1 anywhere, and I'm just gonna have to wait for the trade because
I think I've seen them at Carry actually in Ultimate. I might have to get you one next time I go.
we'll see if
Yeah.
we can do a meetup there or something.
Yeah, we will have to, man. We will have to.
I do want
Yes.
to comment on what you were saying, Ben, earlier with Supergirl being like the side character in her story. I like the interesting perspective of the writing this whole time. Like we're going through the lens of this character right here. What's her name? Remember her
Ruth.
See,
name? Ruth.
Ruthie.
I thought it was great because I mean, like at the end of the day, you know, the superhero's kind of gonna win in like every single DC book, every single Marvel book. Like Spider-Man's never gonna fucking die. Period. Like,
yeah,
and I think
he's
it's
gonna be fine.
yeah. I was talking about this with Kevin a while ago, doing like a John Wick book and having like the side character be the character that we're following. You know, because we know he's basically a superhero. He's not gonna die. He's the guy that kills the boogeyman.
Yeah.
So let's go through the lens of someone else that's got some stakes. You know, they got a mission. You know, like let's see what they're about, and that's what this story is. It's like we're seeing what her mission, her goal, and then Supergirl is there basically assisting her. You know, kind of just serendipitous on the same adventure, which is pretty great. It all works. You know, really enjoyed that perspective in the book. So
Yeah. It's like how there's like this mythical figure, like how does like that figure that can like do so much like affect like the characters who are like, you know, mere mortals, you know, more like you and me than anything else. Like how does that affect like what they do and the choices they make?
100%. And I think it's because like you're never going to fully empathize with Supergirl or Superman or any of these larger than life heroes. Like, so taking it through the lens of somebody who is trying to empathize, trying to understand them, works a lot more coherently. Like, because you're never going to know what it's going to feel like to be able to basically never die. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Works really well as a storytelling device. And I mean, Ruthie as a character has just such a unique voice, cadence.
yeah,
It's that hyper, what is the word that I'm looking for? Overly loquacious, just way too wordy and flowery and
Yeah.
over explaining everything. And it works to great effect. When it like needs to be poetic and flowery, it is. But then when it needs to be like humorous and stand out from how normal people talk, it does that really well. I especially love this whole sequence with them on like the
On the
space
ship.
bus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna mention this scene to you guys. Like, what did you think about it? Because like, there were a few times where I just wanted to skip over it, but then when I actually read it, it was like, oh man, this is actually great. I love it.
It's fantastic.
It's hilarious.
Describing the smell alone. I mean, when she's there talking about how like I don't want to breathe in, but of course saying it in a much more flowery way than that, and comparing it to the things that she smelled back home, which being on a farm and being able to describe some of those smells and associating them, I thought it was fantastic because seeing the way that Bill Quest makes these side characters or just these one-off characters, the one that's there definitely kind of gives that unbathed, unkempt feeling. So her describing that was just fantastic.
He's gross. Just gross.
He's gross.
Yeah, the creature designs and all the like weird space places are fantastic. Like when they need to be gross, they're gross. When they need to be haunting and intimidating, they are. They just have like viscera and trash and goo running off of them at any given time, which I just thought was so good. Like this dude looks like he smells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks like wet garbage. And so like to just hear that he smells fits very aptly. Yeah, this book is great. And it's because, I mean, for a lot of reasons, but Tom King is truly at his best when he is, as he describes it, writing sad man stares out window books. That is his phrasing. I heard on an episode of Off Panel, which I always loved, but it's true because my favorite books of his are that. Particularly like Sheriff of Babylon, Human Target, Mr. Miracle, very like despondent kind of introverted character studies, and that's what he made Supergirl, and it works super well. Like it's let's focus on the tragedy of her life's mission, her whole planet and race dying, like this loneliness and emptiness with which she kind of explores space, and it just like gives her this almost noir gritty characterization, even though the story is not that at all. Just yeah, it's so good. There's so much
Yeah.
depth to her. It's amazing.
There
Her attitude
is
too.
one chapter.
I
Oh,
love
go
it.
ahead.
Sorry, it's just I just wanted to say like how she's like so vulgar, just like saying shit and fucking bitch or whatever. Like every other panel is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when
It's
you
great.
think about that, you Kal-El Superman is your cousin, and so when you're hanging around Superman as a part of the family, you've got to toe the line, man. So when you're away from everything, like fuck this, like you know,
Yeah.
just let it all go.
She's
thought
also
that was great.
hungover too. I mean,
So, Can we go back to the scene that she's introduced in? Like, because that's a perfect intro for this version of Supergirl.
oh,
It
yeah,
is. She's
drunk.
getting
Yeah.
hammered on her 21st birthday.
Like,
And an
look at
alien.
that panel where she's like smiling, just absolutely shit faced, man. That is a great panel.
It's
On a
the first time
planet
we get a
that has
full
a
on
red
shot of her
sun.
face.
Yeah.
Love that detail.
What
Because
an
when you think
intro.
about it, oh man, I'm like, wait a minute, how can Supergirl be drunk? Like, Superman, Supergirl, all the supers, they have, you know, sped up metabolism, so it would take a lot to get them shithoused, right? But then when they're like,
Mhm.
oh, it's a planet with a red sun, I'm like, oh, that's right. 21st birthday, why not live it up? Go to a place where it doesn't take much to get a little buzz on and just get hammered.
But it's also like not particularly celebratory. Like
Yeah.
she is
Yeah,
going
it's
to the edge of the universe to get away from the sun's power so
Yeah.
that she can go get hammered by herself.
Yep.
Like
But she's got crypto with her. I mean, that's happy, right? You got the friendly pooch.
look, I've got me a dog. That doesn't mean I'm happy every day.
There is one detail I do want to bring up, like, and that's something I hope you guys paid attention to. Like, look at the eyes of all the characters in this book.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Bookwis
definitely.
just does a beautiful job,
Mhm.
like conveying different emotions just through how she renders the eyes alone, man. Like that panel we were just talking about, like it's clear she's like gone, but then as you go through later chapters, you can see so many more emotions through how she does it. It's really something to behold.
Yeah.
No, she's so good at also like really like with her composition where she puts the eyes, always draw your focus, but then those like peaks of white that are in every character's like eyeballs just like make them pop and stand out, and you just kind of want to stare at them, like you're just drawn to them.
Yeah, those
It's so
renderings
good.
of the eyes that she's doing throughout this whole thing, it was definitely something I could not stop looking at while I was going through
Oh
it.
yeah.
I mean, just the size alone, very, very
It's like
awesome.
very much her style, like the eyes, and then
Yeah.
like the very chiseled facial features, pointy noses, like
Yeah.
square jaw lines. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could
she does
definitely
that
see
a lot in her books, and it works every time.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And the line weights throughout the whole thing too. Like the hands, like the female hands feel very delicate, you know, they feel very soft, and
Oh yeah.
just the way she's rendering all of that stuff, and just the textures she's using, especially on the clothes, the cross hatching with a brush. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful, very loose but controlled. It's fantastic.
yeah, very detailed too. Like
Yeah, extremely.
but
for
like
sure.
in the right places. You know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
it's very selective. It's controlled.
Yeah.
It's not like everything is like, you know, a Mobius background. You know what I mean? It's like-
But at the same time, everything
Yeah.
is a movie's background.
yeah, it is.
Oh, dude, the way that she goes into detail on just the ground underneath their feet, especially with the first
Yeah.
battle here with Krem and what is whatever the other guy's name is that He's just called like the Bounty or whatever.
Yeah,
Right?
That
just call him
asshole.
Bounty.
Yeah, the Bounty, dude. Just the ground alone. There's so much detail. I agree 100% with what you guys are saying, just in her character work. But the one thing that got me out of the first issue, I mean, if you're wanting a stinger, if you're wanting something to keep you hooked, dude, you go after the dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
dude.
Holy smokes,
John
that one
Wick.
got me, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll read this with my 7-year-old. And I was like, well, I don't think we need to see arrows in chests. And then I'm like, oh, Crypto takes an arrow to the throat. Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with consoling my 7-year-old for like the next 30 minutes. Be like, it's just a comic book. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
I mean, hey, if you want to create a strong revenge motivation, just kill the dog. It works every time.
Yep. John Wick.
Yeah, they made 4 movies off that concept.
They're making more. They made a show. You know, they got the spin-off shows happening just because of that movie when someone killed the wrong fucking dog.
You killed the boogeyman's dog,
Dude,
and that's not gonna bode well.
I'm just flipping through issue to issue, I absolutely love the unraveling of 4 masterpieces. I'm sorry, Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey, 4 masterpieces. He
4
wants to-
masterpieces. They're perfect. Yeah, you're right. They're perfect. No, but I love the way that, because it's told through Ruthie's perspective, we don't know who Supergirl is, what her motivations and intentions are, the complexity of her inner kind of character, and the way that it parses it out issue over issue, where first we see her like incredible strength, and then we have kind of her cunning and her ability to get through this situation, to be like strong and powerful, not take any shit at the space bus station, and then like erupt with that power as the fucking god phoenix. I don't even know what the fuck that red kryptonite shit was. It was awesome.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Drugs.
but we see, yeah, the drug, and then her compassion right afterwards when she's washing Ruthie's hands, and like her deep caring when she's on the purple and blue planet, her issue with mortality when she's on that planet where she's like sort of dying later on. Like, it just keeps probing deeper and deeper and unraveling all these different aspects of her character. It's so goddamn good.
Yeah. One thing that I will say, and I'm interested, Noah, in your thoughts, and Manny, jump in as well. I mean, how many times do you tell a Superman story or a Supergirl story and you have to do the destruction of Krypton, right? It's just, anytime, you always write for the first-time comic book reader. And I'm so glad that they didn't do, this is Supergirl, she came from Krypton, her planet was destroyed. Like, it comes up conversationally. Like, what happened to your planet? And it just kind of becomes naturally a part of the story, to where eventually, when they do expand on it for that issue, which is phenomenal, by the way,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it doesn't feel forced. Because so often, it feels like, it's Superman, he came from Krypton, the planet blew up, they flew him in a ship, he landed in camp. Like, no need to do all of that, and I found that so refreshing.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it when we get to that issue, but like I think that in this story in particular, it's justified just the way they did it.
Yeah.
And like it serves a purpose, right? It's to differentiate like Supergirl from Superman, like why like she's not as like, bright and hopeful and doesn't have like as, clean of an attitude as Superman does, right? So, I think it works great here.
Yeah.
100%. And she's faced with the realities of Krypton actually blowing up, not just
Yeah.
like
She saw
hearing
it.
the myths.
She was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not abstract.
It's a memory she has, a lived experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what did you guys think about chapter 3 with the the nice suburban town that has a
dude.
dark secret? What'd you guys think?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
I think the allegory for like ethnic cleansing was a bit on the nose, but it's
Mhm.
comics. It worked. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I don't
And
think.
Fair
the
enough.
the secret that it's like, yeah, well, we didn't want our people to die, so we sent them over there, and now we just don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
We just
I
did a
mean-
teensy weensy little genocide.
Yeah, that's all. It's fine. I will say the heart wrenching part came, I think, at the beginning of issue 4 when they start to find survivors. But I really that one had me guessing, like, what is it that they're hiding? Did this group kill him? And so when you find out it's the person that they've been chasing, this Krim guy, which I don't think we've talked much about. You know, Krim, he's the bad guy that killed Ruthie's dad, shoots Crypto, and apparently uses poison-tipped arrows. So the pretense that Supergirl, and this is something I gotta ask smarter people about, so you guys have to help me with this because I was too dumb to figure it out. But you know, that's the whole pretense why Supergirl is going with Ruthie to track Krim down. And so we find out Krim is now partnered with this giant bounty hunter group. And I think, to me, that's the part I wanted to see more. I'm like, how bad are these bounty hunters? And I guess you see it in the wake of Devastation, but I guess I wanted to just get a little bit more feel for, like, how close is Krim in this group? Is he just using them? So, I don't know. That I kind of felt like wasn't wound as tightly as it could have been, but it would also be an unnecessary insert panel here or there.
Yeah, you guys can like tell me your thoughts on it, but honestly, I do kind of agree that like Krim could have been a little more present in like the first parts of the story, but I feel like as it like got to the end, it got a lot stronger with him. Like it became clear like why we should hate him and why Supergirl and Ruthie want to get him so bad.
I mean,
Yeah, and like, oh, go ahead, Manny.
it's kind of reminded me of like you know how the Boondock Saints is set up, where you see the aftermath and then you see how they got there. You know,
Yeah.
It's kind of like them showing up to these planets and seeing the devastation that these people are leaving behind. Like, this guy's a bad guy throughout this whole thing, and then you see what happens to him later on. Like, no matter all this stuff, like everything that goes wrong or that this person has done, and then she's still like basically a forgiving God, one could say.
Yeah. No,
You know?
I think that's a great kind of point. Like, I really do think that it kind of is, by having them show up over and over in the aftermath, it creates a great sense of stakes for what a villain can do, rather than like we know the big bad guy is going to get the big bomb and blow up the earth or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's like when
genocide and
the,
shit.
yeah, it's like when the Death Star blows up Alderaan. You go, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like, they just
Yeah.
killed billions of people, like,
Yep.
in with just one laser shot. Like, it's that sense of dread to give the villain real weight, but it's also like to create that sense of dread in Supergirl, knowing that like no matter how much destruction and devastation she can work to prevent, there's always going to be more. You're always going to be chasing this goal. There's always going to be this endless kind of perpetual cycle of bad that you can't squash out, and you shouldn't feel like you have this control over it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see your point there. I think the part that I struggle with, and we'll get to it later, is, you know, it sounds like Krim was this king's agent, and he was just there to kind of sniff out dissent and be like, oh, so, you know, what do you think of the king? And I don't want to spoil that for the end, but he does murder Ruthie's dad. That's what sets all this in motion, right? And then it's like he goes from killing one rock farmer on a planet to citywide devastation to like colony-wide, you know, genocide. I was just like, wow, that's a really small thing to be like, well, you know, I killed one guy and then I just started wiping everybody out.
Well, I
kind of
think
disconnect, but
we'll I guess we'll get into it like when we get to that chapter, but I think when he explains his reason why, like you'll kind of see like here's how this guy could get from like, you know, King's agent to like galactic genocidal maniac.
all right. I may
So-
need you to hold my hand because I was like I said, not very smart when I came.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Sorry if I'm skipping way ahead. I'm flipping through the dinosaur chapter. It's so good.
Oh man.
Same.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
I mean, I loved
And-
how it was a different adventure with each issue too. You know, we're on one planet, then we're on another, then we're on another one. Like, and then we get sucked into a portal, and now we're here, and we're weak, and this sucks.
Oh, dude,
It
the
was cool.
portal or the warp planet was so cool.
Yeah.
And knowing that like there's history there, you know, Superman got dropped on there and was there for 45 minutes until the JLA saved him.
I love the
And-
last line in that too, with her being on the planet. 45 minutes, little bitch.
Yeah. There is one Bilquis face that always like is burned into my memory where she like shoots out like heat vision and then she's all delirious. That's like really scary looking to me. It's just burned into my memory.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can
really cool.
find it. Yeah, okay. Where she's like going like, no, it's a bird. Wait, no, it's a plane.
It's
And then there's
super.
the house.
Passes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
First, that's nothing. Sorry, cracks me up. I really do think that like this book, it's so hard in sci-fi and fantasy to believably construct the story where it's like, and then we went to this place, and then we had to go here, and then we went here, and then we went here. Like in really good examples, you don't even notice it happening.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
in Lord of the Rings, for example, like it's constantly like, now we have to go here, now we have to go here, and we're walking and we're walking, we're going to Mordor. That's our end goal. It's bad in like Rebel Moon is like the Zack Snyder movie where that literally just feels like we have to go to this planet and then we're going to this planet. We have to get the widget to go to the thing and get the crystal and then beat the thing and then kill the guy and do the thing. And it's just like this endless list. It's like fetch quests, like we
Yeah.
said last week. Where like
Yes, I
bad
played
stories
Zelda
feel
games
like
too.
yeah. And this book avoids that, even though they are like constantly moving planet to planet.
But it's like, because they're here, then they had to do this. Therefore, this happens. You know, like
Yeah.
they're discovering stuff, and it's naturally moving. It's not just a fetch quest. It's like, we're going after this one guy, and then he sucked me into a fucking portal.
Yeah.
and I'm dying.
Yeah, he genocided a whole planet. Now
Yeah.
we've got to unpack that and kind of fix that problem if we can, you
Yeah.
know, over and over again.
Or at least help those that are affected by it, you know. Then there's showing more compassion towards people and stuff. It's well put together.
Yeah, and it creates a sense of scale where Supergirl is a presence known throughout the
Yeah.
cosmos.
Right.
Every planet knows Supergirl. Everyone knows what's up, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, and like how that manifests in different ways, which is again fucking rad. Like
Yeah.
it creates a sense of weight and lore and mythos to even her that we have to uncover because other people are talking about it, which is just
Yeah.
such smart writing.
Yeah.
This really does feel like a big galaxy in this book, and that's something that just doesn't come
Yes.
across in a lot of superhero books, but this one just does it so well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And them
Oh, yeah.
jumping around all these different planets, and we're seeing all these different races and like their ways of living and stuff. Very cool.
I'm obsessed with the Jack Kirby guy.
Yeah.
It
That's a great scene, though.
is.
Oh yeah, the giant, and it's a girl, right? It's the mother in this
Yeah.
race. So yeah, I thought that was awesome, and it's just like, yeah, she had to get out the emotions. So it's like, just attack me. Just what are you, a wuss? Come on, hit me. Do something. Hit
Yeah.
me. And just knowing that like
You're
she had to get those emotions out.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I'm large. It will hurt. Just fucking do it.
And again, able to deliver a sense of like this moment with a sense of humor, because Tom King like is not known for being funny.
What?
He writes pretty stark and grim and dark stories, but I think it's that level of humor that only someone in the CIA could have possibly.
I was
done.
literally
Do you know
gonna
what I
say,
mean?
well, there's a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you just have witnessed such atrocity that you have no hope, but to just have the blackest sense of humor possible.
Yeah. Every time I read like a Tom King book now, like after discovering he was in the CIA, I'm just like, so which one of these was like an old mission that he did?
Yeah.
Well, that's gosh, I don't want to miss the Space Dragon because we skipped over the Space Dragon. That's such a freaking beautiful piece of artwork. But you guys bring that up, the CIA. I mean, the Black Vault, going into whatever that Black Vault is, talking about all the security footage. I mean, my gosh, how right out of that line of work would that be?
Right.
I think it does tie into the end too, and I'll come back to it when we talk about it. But yeah, that look that Supergirl has when she's walking out, like that's definitely from like an experience Tom King had.
Just the utter trauma of just seeing this stuff happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the Space Dragon, but here's the Space Dragon page for you, Ben.
Oh, dude, the one where it's wrapped around the train, like you see the space bus, and then the thing's wrapped around it. It's a full page spread. It's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And again, it's just allowing Bilquis and Matthias to just do their thing, right? I want a Space Dragon. Like, listening to one of the interviews with Tom, he was just like, I don't know, what do you do with it? And he was asking, it was either a 10 or 12-year-old, like his son. He's like, I don't know, what do you think I should put in the book? And his kid was just like, a dragon. He's like, hell yeah. When do you come across a dragon in a comic book and you're like, this is dumb. Like, a dragon doesn't belong here. I was like, this is awesome. Like,
Space Dragon.
Show me a kick-ass space dragon. That's just so cool. But I like, again, going back to Supergirl and showing just some of her vulnerability. It's I'm going to articulate it way less pretty than you did, Kev. But showing her emotional side is fantastic. And, you definitely see that later on in the book. I love seeing her vulnerability here. Talking about, I've been on a planet with a red sun. I haven't been anywhere close to it. You can't really rely on me. I know I'm Supergirl. Everyone knows me, but not much I can do at this point. So I really thought that was interesting. And then getting going out there asking for drugs, essentially. Does anyone have any drugs?
I know one of you got them.
Come on now. Who's holding out on me? So I thought that was so cool too. I'm like, that's an interesting take on it.
It's like her attitude throughout this whole book. I was just like, if all of these Supergirl comics are written like this, I would get all of them. This is great.
I don't believe they are.
No, I know. I know. It's only
There's the
this.
reason why we can only talk about this one.
I know.
And this is an aside that we can get into later, but every time I read this book, I just think to myself, how the fuck are they going to turn this into a movie? Like, I know that this is what they're going to base the Supergirl movie off of, but like, how much is going to get cut and what are they going to cut?
Dude,
you know
it's
what I mean?
literally like, no, there's no fucking way they're going to do that. It's going to be
a
a
theory,
fucked up
but
job.
like,
of
we'll
it.
get to that when we get to that chapter.
Okay. It's not. It needs to be a show. It can't be a fucking movie. It needs to be a
Or
show.
it should be like
You're
it should
right.
be like Lawrence of Arabia, and it should be like 3.5 hours long.
It needs to be a show.
And I'm not one to advocate for long superhero movies because they get boring as fuck. But like this one, it would be okay if they decided to just go panel for panel. Although I worry about trying to translate Tom King because unless you're doing like the noir voiceover, like you're gonna lose that like thing. And I think that noir voiceover is like a bad look. There's a reason why we don't see a ton of comic books with the voiceover, except for basically Batman and then Deadpool, but that is for different reasons. So I don't know. Voiceover gets cheesy fast.
Yeah. I agree with Bailey. Bring back intermissions. There you go. That'll solve it. Lawrence of Arabia length, and you do a split it right down the middle. Give us an intermission.
Yeah, give you time to go smoke and pee, and then go
And
back
poop.
to the movie.
Maybe poop.
Yeah, maybe poop.
Maybe poop a little bit.
Not a long poop. Quick poop.
You really should do that before you go to the movie.
Hey,
man.
dude, nature calls, dude. Nature calls, man.
I
Not
mean,
my
they give you
fault.
that big popcorn bucket.
Yeah,
If
all
it's
that
good enough for
popcorn
sound
and
music,
butter
man.
just slides right out.
I need to go around 2 on that thing if we got an intermission.
No, man. Sorry derailing us, but I just had the space dragon was like one of the coolest things that I found in
Yeah.
this book, and there's a ton of like really cool things in here. So, I just
It's
was like, wait a
chock
minute,
full
we
of
skipped
good
for
shit.
that. Yeah,
Why everyone watching this needs to go out and buy it and read it.
Right now.
Yeah, and you will be able to find this at any LCS. Like, it is so popular and so character defining. I'm sure that I'm sure I have like a third printing of it, and I got it like years ago. That's how popular this book is.
Yep.
This might actually be the first trade. Look at that.
I was gonna say I gotta look up what printing mine is. Now that you
They
say
did
that,
just come out with the deluxe edition, and it has like a bunch of Bilquis's thumbnails and cover stuff in it. You guys gotta check it out.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'll bring it when you guys want to meet up, so you guys can look at it.
I can't wait until they release back matter for Helena Windhorn. I want to see all the concept work. Mm.
well,
Oh
and
god, artist edition, please, please.
Seriously.
Dark Horse, listen.
listen. Dude, I love in the way that she's able to do fire and the sun and just everything that I don't know. You talk about someone where it's like, how the heck aren't they doing more? I just hope that she's enjoying what she's doing because Bilquis, even like the one of the raiders or bandits or whatever you want to call them, like them getting stoned.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap!
It was awesome.
Like it just
Right?
comes after the Supergirl goes into the Black Vault and sees all the security footage of like the atrocities this band of robbers or of murderers have done, and then there's a group of I don't know what they are. The denizens Zala? I don't know how to say it. The denizens are known for their pottery, which is a shade of red only found in the tiny corner of the universe. Regrettably, I do not see any of their renowned earthware while I was there. Perhaps someday I'll return and purchase this. And while Ruthie is saying this, like, the population of this colony has just stoned a man to death. Like, what the hell? Yeah, apparently they're really well known for all their gorgeous pottery, but they use the same earth to beat a man to death. Pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and having it be a cracked glass visor through the stoning was an elegant choice.
There's a great character moment too, where Ruthie. Well, let me read this out. Ruthie says, "I know he surely deserved his fate, but I had some thought you'd save him." And then Supergirl just turns and goes, "You'd think, or did you?"
Yeah, did you? Question.
Yeah, did you?
Hmm.
Ooh.
And then the monks of Ekvik. This is where I'll ask you guys. Kev and Noah, you guys are collecting Helen of Windhorn, and I see this page of this monastery that these monks have lived in, and this this page that's intercut with panels, seeing this gorgeous, towering building in the clouds. I'm just like, this is what Helen of Windhorn is like, I'm down, dude. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
Yeah.
that and then some.
It takes place in like a giant like estate. And so there's all these rooms and the building is huge and beautiful and there's nooks and crannies and weapons and armor collections and a library and all the gorgeous shit with these beautiful gardens and a hedge maze and the whole thing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
like if
beautiful.
Saltburn was
House.
good.
Yeah.
Spoiler for those who haven't seen it. It's bad.
Oh man.
All those sequences with her just diving into the sun, Like her bathed in cosmic forces and light and all that shit. Just like one thing that we talk about a lot on this show is pacing and page economy and knowing when to take that breath. And this book just does it like once per issue, where there's just like a wide shot of a landscape with Supergirl staring out into the distance or having some emotional epiphany, and it's just unfucking believable.
Oh, yeah.
Like the one right after her diving into the sun on this big shroom trippy planet. She's just nestled up here, and you see these like phoenix ass looking birds, these like Pontiac Firebirds looking.
This is the page that sold me on getting this book in single issues.
It's gorgeous.
I had to get it when I saw this.
What
It
page?
was just Tom King's name. I had read Sheriff of Babylon, and I was like, this is one of the best written comic books I've ever read. I must buy everything. He's not always good. I'm not going to lie to you all. His Batman is incredibly hit or miss for me. Despite him being like the perfect writer for Batman, it just doesn't always work. And I'm reading his Wonder Woman book that he's doing, and it's fine. I don't know. But he has so many bangers. Mr. Miracle, Strange Adventures.
I still think you should read Love Everlasting. I want to see what you think about it.
I really want to read that book. I just missed out on like the first couple issues, so now I need the trade. Is the trade out yet?
Oh yeah, there's a few volumes of the trade out.
Already? Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then I am far behind.
Just let me know when you do pick it up.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
because it's Erica Henderson doing the art on that.
Elsa Chartier.
Elsa
like Darwin
Chartier,
Cook.
yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, damn, I must. But anyway, man, I love her with in the portal with the orb. Ruthie's space suit looks so sick.
So cool.
Just great. Oh, I mean, the dinosaur planet fucks me up. It's just because it's like, why not have dinosaurs? Why not have a dragon? Why not have purple and blue people? Do whatever you want. It's a space adventure. And I really wish more comic writers and artists would take this kind of creative license with stories. It's just like, oh, well, it's a comic book, so you can do whatever the fuck you want. So why not?
Yeah. Let's have a Spider-Man in space, alien mode, and he's getting chased by the xenomorph creature the whole time. Boom. Done.
Yeah, why
Let's
not?
do it.
Marvel. We're waiting on our contract right now.
Yeah. Let's go.
Give him the Venom suit. That'll buy you some.
Doesn't Marvel have the rights to Alien too?
Oh, really?
They're doing a
Yeah, isn't Declan Shalvey doing the Alien book?
Yeah.
Alien and
you're right.
No. So Marvel, you're welcome. I'll take a 5% royalty, thank you.
Whoa. Me too.
I'm only taking 5%. I didn't say anything about anyone else's deal.
I'll give you 5,000. That'll be good enough.
I love the issue where they're on the dinosaur planet and Supergirl is just fucked up, helpless with the green sun. I love putting Ruthie in Supergirl's position to fight and defend, to fight being kind of outskilled, outmatched, and like relying solely on the will to live and like courage and fighting past feelings of being defenseless. It's like one of the best moments that kind of has Ruthie truly empathizing and understanding Supergirl. Turning the tables really works for an issue too.
Yeah.
When you have this invulnerable protector actually being weak and vulnerable. Oof. Woo.
so
And her
good.
learning like what Supergirl already knows, like on the fly, like she had to learn to like dry her sword and like always be watching because like there's a bunch of dinosaurs just waiting to eat you. You can't just like take a nap, right?
As they just lay out in the open, which I thought was funny.
Yeah. Don't find a cave. Don't hide
No,
anywhere.
just right here is fine. Right here.
Well, the logic was that she couldn't drag her around, essentially, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
I want to say it was, yeah.
But man, right there, right in this
man,
open
this
fucking
panel, dude. I love this shit. Oh my god. Where
Oh,
they're
yeah.
up here, and then there's just framed by all these dinosaurs. Because I love that the dinosaurs. The
The
design is.
dinosaur.
I
I like
love
that.
the design of the dinosaurs, the dinosaur, if you will. Because they feel alien, but they're very clearly dinosaurs.
Yeah, I love how it almost has like skin hanging off of them. They look very Skeksis-esque from
Yeah, Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
Hell yeah. Skeksis are hot.
Ooh,
But yeah, this is where again that you guys talk about the eyes. After she blasts that one with her heat vision, like just the look in her eyes, like that was it. That's all I have. I can't do anything else. Not until this damn green sun goes away.
Was that a bird? This is a fucking bird. No, it's a plane. Oh no, it's super.
You gotta have it in there somewhere. I think they do it a couple of times too, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they do, yeah.
Do it here and there. It's funny.
I love the design of this planet too, just like how there's so many like sharp cliffs and rocks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just makes it feel even more hostile.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It just makes me think
Yeah.
of like all the concept art that you'll see for video games and shit. You'll always see the spiky mountain range like in every single concept art book, basically. And there's
You know what I mean? If it worked for Mordor and it worked for it works for everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a blog post of someone collecting all of the concept art with a man with a stick. You know, you'll see that giant ass like hiking stick or walking stick or wand, whatever it is. It's always a guy staring at those spiky cliffs with his giant stick.
Yep.
You
And
need
there's
a big
lot
stick
of
if you're
them.
going to be hiking craggy terrain that's spiked up like that.
Oh,
Okay,
dude.
that's just practical.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're gonna go climb a mountain without a big stick? Fucking idiot.
It's so stupid.
I want to feel like Gandalf sometimes. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, you're right. All right, guys. I overstepped. I get it.
But I love that the green sun makes this planet look like it's covered in poison and piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks nasty.
Putrid.
Man, I love
And
it.
that the night has got that like musty purple, you know? It's like dirty and greasy. And that dinosaur. Fuck yeah.
Dude, again, just shout out to Matthias. His colors kick ass throughout this entire book.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
good.
pooped all over this book with his colors, dude. It's awesome.
And we got a really good onomatopoeia here with the roar
Yeah.
across the bottom panel.
Oh yeah. Right over the top of Supergirl. I love how it breaks the figure.
The sun finally sets. I love this shit. And then just the fist to stop the whole dinosaur. Just doof. What a little bitch.
Yeah. That's like my favorite. That's my favorite
That's
bit
the
right there.
perfect line.
She's such a scoundrel.
Bear crawl like a real man. Good call, Bailey.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do if you don't have a stick.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not a very dynamic picture, right? If you have a person just, laying on the ground while they're staring at these craggy cliffs, like that doesn't have the same effect. So
They could
Yeah.
be
I
pissing.
hear you, man. I hear you.
They need to be pissing, dude. Do something different. Or pooping.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. What
That's
if you just
perfect.
poop so hard that it propelled you like a jetpack?
Yeah.
that'd be all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel, I'm sitting right here with my ideas.
Well, like the Super Mario Sunshine with the you know,
Yeah.
it was like going up, but it's just peeing.
Oh, yeah.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, ready? Splatoon, but with poop.
It's just brown paint.
Yeah, everybody's just a squid with diarrhea,
uh,
and they're pooping.
All over the place.
Your loadout.
Better bring
is
your
just, what are
goggles,
you ordering from
otherwise
Taco
there's gonna be a
Bell?
lot of pink eye.
Yeah.
shitty soakers, shitty. I don't know. super shitters,
Super soakers.
pooper soakers. There you go.
Hey.
You know what I mean? And at the end of every game, it just says you died of dysentery.
You did.
And there's some like covered wagon in the background for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah. But nobody poops their pants in this book, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Excellent segue.
Well, we don't
Thank
know
you.
if she pooped or not in this book. In
This
the
is
bathroom
true.
scene.
We know Ruthie does because she
Yeah.
asks like, "There's 4 holes in there. What do I use them for?" And I'm like,
They're all for pooping.
yeah.
I wish my toilet had 4 holes. It could hold all my poop.
Suck it up
Conserve on
real
water.
good.
Water conservation.
We've
Only have
derailed.
to flush once a day. Only have to flush once a day.
My apologies for taking us off the rails.
This issue, I think this is what's going in the movie. Like, this is like the chapter that makes the whole book so great, in my opinion. Like, just how it tells the origin of Supergirl in a way that's actually interesting. That's really hard to do, but they managed to pull it off here.
Oh yeah, this one was
This
cool.
is what's going in the movie.
Yeah, I could see that. For
Well,
sure.
I mean, I don't understand. All the other stories have told us that like she just follows Kal-El and like
That's
some
it.
weird thing knocked her off course, right? It's not as heartbreaking and terrifying as what this is, where it's like, hey, guess what? Your mom and 3/4 of your entire population die of cancer, and then the rest of your planet's gonna die. And her dad's like, yeah, now I'm gonna save you. Like, all my plans have failed. Now we're all gonna die except for you. See ya. Bye. Love
Peace.
you.
Love you. Be good.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, go to page 3, where it shows like Supergirl with like the black eyes. If you guys can find it.
Oh
That is
Lord,
like
the bottom
such
panel.
a haunted look.
You shot my fucking
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. Like, that takes a special artist to do that and pull it off.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
face.
you just get so many sides and facets to Supergirl. So again, the depth, the complexity. She's not 3-dimensional. She's fucking like 12-dimensional. She's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Hell yeah.
And then the retribution here with her flying in fast as fuck and says, hello, I'm Supergirl and you're Creme of the Yellow Hills and you shot my fucking dog.
Oh man, dude, her coming out of the ashes. What more kind of a rebirth do you need there? Where it's the ashes of Krypton after the first explosion. Goodness.
Again, these pages, these sequences where she's just sitting, staring, looking horrifically sad, just fucking sell the shit out of them. And I love how they use the kind of interstitial title pages throughout. Like, it just keeps the trade really flowing. Did the singles do this?
Yes, they do.
Okay, I love that.